Hi, guys. Welcome to Many Mistakes Ago. So, we have some guest stars here.
Oh, don't.
We have my girlfriend who refuses to be pictured, so you get her feet. Feel free to screenshot and and ask for free foot pics on some random feet finder website or whatever. And there's Sadie Butt.
You're done.
Sadie. So this is going to be an interesting episode because my girlfriend and I are not living together, obviously, yet, but we're testing it out. And because we're in my apartment at this time, my apartment is very small. It's a one bedroom, so there's not many separate spaces. So I figured what better time to do an episode like this and have you guys kind of like actually get a little bit more into my life. So she's actually cooking me. I don't know what she's cooking me. It's dinner. That's all I know.
Vegan dinner.
It's a vegan dinner, yes. So I'm on a partial juice cleanse, and
I am not vegan.
with this partial juice cleanse, with the partial juice cleanse, you drink 2 juices and then like a vitamin C shot that has like cayenne, ginger juice, and lemon juice. And you're supposed to eat a vegan diet with it. So you want to avoid any animal products, you want to avoid sugar, you want to avoid processed foods. So pretty much like this is your way of like resetting and like getting out all the gunk and like having a fresh start. That's the whole point of this like juice cleanse. I've also lost like 10 pounds already on this. So I'm really, really happy. Not the point of it, no, but I'm happy because all I do is overeat. And with this cleanse, I feel like I'm starting to have a smaller stomach, which is good for me because my appetite was so large before when it didn't need to be. I don't know. I guess I just felt like I really like don't need to be eating as much as I do, and I feel like a lot of people probably feel that way. Like they eat way more than they should, than what's good for them. Like we all as Americans overeat. Like if you ever seen like the portion sizes from like 20, 30 years ago versus now, like the portion sizes are like 10 times as big. Okay. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but 3 times as big. Like the McDonald's cheeseburger, for example. I think I saw that it's like 3 times bigger, some shit like that. But my point is that I'm eating less and I'm eating healthier, so I'm actually starting to take care of my health, which my girlfriend wants me to anyway. But today's episode, let's get into it because I don't want to ramble too much, and I kind of wanted to keep this a short and sweet episode because it's one of those list episodes, and I just feel like I'm probably eventually going to talk about my life more in depth and in detail, but I might do like a separate YouTube episode for that instead of basing it off of my podcast. I feel like I'm more interested in making a vlog about it than I am a podcast about it. So if you want to hear about my recent life's events in like January and all the exploring I did, and all my souvenirs and stuff, which I'm wearing one of my souvenirs, that will be up sometime this month on YouTube. YouTube only. Anyway, let's get into it. So today's episode is 14 things that I love and appreciate for Valentine's Day. So number one, I appreciate deep and meaningful conversation and the ability to connect with others. I find this one very, very important because this is how you make your circle of people. Like this is how you make your built family. You'll get to learn who your people are, connect with them, and like keep them for life. Like my best friend Jessie, literally my girlfriend. Like there are so many people that I've just sat there and had deep, meaningful conversations with and connected with them, and I related to them on such a deep level that I'm like, you are one of like you are my tribe, or with Larissa, you are my person. Like, you were able to just connect, and it feels so good. And I don't know if it has to do with my neurodivergent brain or if this is just how I am, but I feel the need to connect with people. Like if somebody at work says something, I feel the need to like relate to it somehow. Like I want to be like, oh, like no way, me too, or just like have that rapport built. um I don't know, maybe it's a neurodivergent thing, maybe it's just a me thing, maybe some of y'all relate, but I just feel like it feels nice to connect with people. And literally, life is all about our experiences, about our travel experiences, about our experiences with other people. Literally, who is in our life makes our life, because those are going to be your people that either teach you lessons or they're like the biggest blessing in your life. And I just feel like it's nice, because how else are we supposed to get through this life? Because I know for damn sure I'm not getting through this life alone. No, that's not the point. People preach community, and that's like the whole point, is like building your community, building your people. So I really love and appreciate the ability to connect with others and having those people that I've connected with. Number two, I am thankful to have platforms where I am able to create and have an audience that actually listens and enjoys like what I'm talking about. So I actually dug into a little bit of my analytics on Apple and Spotify and YouTube. YouTube is like my new growing platform where like not everybody knows it exists, and I don't really know how to promote it. Like I don't know how it gets pushed out there, if it does. um but Spotify is where I started my podcast, and it has been amazing. Like I got my 2023 wrapped, and I reached, I think, four different countries or something like that, and I was like, I didn't even know that I was beyond the United States. Like it felt so good to have people that actually listen to me, and like maybe y'all relate, maybe y'all empathize. I don't know what makes you guys want to listen. If I have good advice, whatever it is that makes you listen, like just thank you. Like it is amazing to have a platform where I can speak my mind, and y'all can either learn from me and my dumbass mistakes, y'all can relate to me, feel less alone. um, yeah, or laugh at me, like my girlfriend says. Please laugh at me, because sometimes I do some dumb shit. Um, and then with Apple Podcasts, that's newer. So I introduced that at the beginning of 2024, and that took off more than I ever expected. I'm not going to get into the analytics because I don't have them in front of me. I just happened to glance and kind of like peek into them at one point. I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe. Um, but I honestly was just amazed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is amazing. Like, people actually are listening. Like, what if I'm giving good advice? What if you guys appreciate it? Um, Another platform is TikTok. So I like to create videos on TikTok. I have about 11,000 followers, and I've reached a lot of audiences from some of the videos I've created. Obviously, I have like a Chick-fil-A one that has like 2.2 million views. And that one was like a goofy, funny, like, here's the Chick-fil-A bowl. This is your sign to go try it. I never expected it to go viral, but that's how I started like actually connecting with people on TikTok, because that was like my first big video. So I met some cool people because it reached them. And I even was on Bumble BFF, and someone was like, oh my God, like, we went to try the Chick-fil-A bowl because of you. And I was like, no way, like, that's too funny. So it's like we're all connected somehow through social media, and we don't even realize it sometimes. Um, but there was one video actually that I really wanted to focus on, and that's the point of why I'm bringing like TikTok into this. Um, is I was sexually assaulted by my ex-boyfriend, or I should say one of them, not all of them. One of my ex-boyfriends. Um, I believe I might have said his name before, but just for purposes, I'm not going to say it. I'm not here to bash him out. I'm here to talk about the video in and of itself. I created a video that went somewhat viral on TikTok. A couple thousand people viewed it. But the messages and DMs that I got, there were people that commented and then DMs on top of it. But there was this one girl that I remember that actually DM'd me about how appreciative she was that I shared my story, because she was going through it and had like no idea like what to do, and was just like a mess. And it just put it into perspective that like me sharing my story can mean something to somebody, especially make them feel less alone, because not a lot of people realize how many people get sexually assaulted by their partner. Like, it is so messed up, but there is so much abuse from our partners that we don't talk about. And obviously, not you. She's like, no, but there is so much abuse that can happen, and some people just feel entitled to their partners where they just assault them. They don't care if you don't want to have sex or if you're not feeling it that day. Like, they want it and they're entitled to it, and it's so messed up because that's not how it should be. But
Your body, your choice.
yeah, your body, your choice. But it's like people don't realize that this shit actually happens. And for me, it's like you don't realize that something is going on or something happens until you realize it, until it happens to you. It's almost like, let's say I bought a white Jeep, right? A while back, I bought a white Jeep Liberty. I saw no Jeep Liberties on the road, but as soon as I bought that Jeep Liberty, that's all I could see on the road. Bad example, I know, but it just, again, you can't imagine it happening to you, and you don't even think that it's a thing until it happens to you, until you're made aware of it. So I just think that it's insane that like I was able to just kind of put myself out there, be vulnerable with you guys, and you guys were really receptive about it. I look at those messages, I respond to those messages all the time. If anyone ever sends me a DM that's not spam, like it's an actual DM, I will respond. If it's spam, I admittedly delete and sometimes block, depending on the type of spam that it is. I know y'all get those spam messages too, but when it comes to like a listener, a TikTok viewer, somebody that found me on social media and they're like, wow, like I really related to this, you know, whatever they want to talk about, I'm there. And I love it because I love connecting with people. Again, that was literally the first thing I loved and appreciated. Um, but anyway, before I get into too much of a tangent here, let me keep myself on track with number three. Number three is having an abundance of love, care, and support and joy in my life. It's the ability to choose to focus on the positive. I love that I'm able to see myself and see life in and of itself in a positive light. And once I realized that I don't need to always have such a negative outlook, I realized the abundance of what I have. And it made me focus on what I have versus what I don't have. I have an abundance of love. I have so many people that love me and care about me just as much as I love them and care about them. I have an abundance of support. I have my friends, I have my family, I have my significant other, I have you guys, my social media friends. There are so many people and so much to love and appreciate. And it just makes me sorry, my girlfriend distracted me. Um, and I'm not editing this one either.
Pardon me for trying to let you taste a bite of food.
Ooh, I want a bite of food.
You didn't.
I didn't know that's what you were doing. I thought you were going to feed it to Sadie. It's a little broccoli.
It's just the first time.
Is this with the chili powder?
That is just salt on the.
Oh.
It's gonna have a few. The zucchini has a few seasonings on it.
I have nothing for you, Sadie, but
The carrots. I'm gonna try to make these sweet glazed carrots vegan style.
okay.
And the tofu is gonna have the chili powder come off of me.
Play in the kitchen. Love that for you. Okay, so sorry. Where was I? Okay, I love that I was able to focus on the positives because I struggled for a long time focusing on the positives and what the abundance of things I did have. I was always focused on what I was missing out on, what I didn't have, what I wanted to achieve, whereas now I can take a step back and appreciate what is in my life. And I think that's an important lesson for all of us because I guarantee you, a lot of you listening probably feel the same way and struggle with focusing on what we do have. I feel like we're all conditioned to be driven for more. Like, we all want more money, we want a better status at our job, want um, a better house, a better car, like all of this stuff that we have goals and ambitions, yes, but we forget to stop and appreciate where we are at the moment. We forget that we need to meet ourselves where we're at. The monk fruit is going to be in the pantry in a Ziploc gallon baggie, but it's still in the packaging. Okay, number 4. Things I love and appreciate. I love and appreciate the feeling of accomplishment when I complete a task, a to do list, a book, a project, etc. I love the feeling of accomplishment when I complete something, anything. Let's say it's my chores. I feel so productive when all of my chores are done. Are you kidding? My to do list, that's done. I have nothing on a to do list. I I will wait to see the day that I have nothing to do on my to do list. Guarantee you it won't happen, but even to check off one item on my to do list feels so good. When I finish a book, it feels so good. I have only finished one book this year. I have a goal to finish 12 books, which basically equivalates to one book a month. Is that a word? Equivalates? Equates. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I didn't think it was a word when it came out of my mouth. But basically, one book a month. That's my goal. And I know I can do it. I just have to set aside time and put my mind to it. Anyway, the feeling of being like accomplished and getting something done, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that feeling of accomplishment. Like, you're like, I got this done. I feel on top of the world. Like, my to-do list is wiped clean. It just feels like you're productive, that you've done something, that you've contributed. So that's just a top tier feeling up there. Number 5, I love and appreciate a nice hot cup of coffee or tea in the morning. Huh?
I thought you were gonna say a nice hot meal.
There's food in here. Wait for it. There is food on this list. There are 14 items on this list, but there is something about waking up to a perfectly made coffee or tea and enjoying that caffeine and just getting ready to start your day. I admittedly roll out of bed. I freaking hate getting out of bed, waking up, don't want to do it. But as soon as I am able to pick myself up, stop my alarm from going off, get up and do what I need to do, it feels so good. Eventually, my goal, once kind of like life kind of, I don't know, I guess comes together for me. I feel like life is not going to come together for me right away. I feel like summer, fall is about the time where I start building and keeping a lot of habits that I, try out, because I feel like we all try out habits at the beginning of the year and we kind of figure out what works for us. But I feel like around that time is when I'm going to start kind of developing a routine, especially because I know I'm not staying in this apartment. I'm definitely going to be moving. But with that being said, I have things that I want to do. I want to start waking up earlier. I want to start doing my 5-minute journal, stretching in the morning. There was this one girl at my work that I work with, um, that said that she had a 2-mile walk this morning and she saw like 30 something deer, like a ridiculous amount. I want to go on a 1-mile walk in the morning. Like, that would be such an accomplishment for me. So I realized that I want to create more happiness in my life, and I'm not going to do that sitting in my apartment all day. I need to go out and walk. I need to like get up, get myself going, be productive. Granted, I know I do a lot, but again, I feel like I need to trade off certain habits. I don't need to watch Netflix all day, every day. I don't need to be sleeping 12 hours a night, every night. Like, I need some give and take. I don't have to do those morning habits every day. Maybe I don't walk a mile every day. Maybe I walk a mile every other day or a couple times a week. Whatever the case may be, building those habits would be really nice. And I'm going to work on that. And that's going to be an episode that you're going to see in the near future. But to put back on track, because I have that ADHD brain apparently, number 6, I love and appreciate the ability to learn and grow from mistakes. I like to be able to learn lessons in life. That's literally the whole point of this podcast. And if you don't get that, I don't know what you're going to get.
Many mistakes.
Many mistakes to go. Literally, that was the whole, like, I never knew what to name my podcast. But then I thought about how when I moved from Connecticut to Texas, I was in the biggest growth period in my life. I will preach growth and healing era till the end of the day, right? But this was the first time I actually felt that I was transforming, that I was practicing what I was preaching and it wasn't going back. I feel like I thought that I was growing up when I stopped having all of this drama with friends and people and whatever. I was like, no, I'm more mature, like I've learned, blah, blah, blah. Until it happens to you again, and you're like, wow, I just repeated a karmic cycle and I didn't learn my lesson. But when I moved from Connecticut to Texas, not only did I keep my Connecticut friends and kept those relationships and made sure that like I didn't have a falling out with them, especially if they came to me and they were like, hey, I feel like we're having a falling out. Like, that's a problem. I need to fix that ASAP. Like, I love and appreciate my Connecticut friends to this day, to death. Like, I will try to communicate with them on social media because don't get me wrong, there are times, and I know y'all feel it too, but there are times where I am drained. I have no social battery. I have no will to reach out to people, but I'll send you a funny TikTok. I'll comment on your story. I have that minimal reserve energy, and I still want to show you that I want to be involved in your life. But anyway, when I moved from Connecticut to Texas, that was something that was important to me because I burned a lot of bridges with a lot of friends, and I made it a point to not repeat that karmic cycle. And if I wanted a friendship and I valued a friendship, I needed to put in the effort to keep it. And I'm also learning that making friends these days is if I want a friend in my life, I need to put in that effort. If I don't, that's a different story. I don't need to be friends with everybody, but if I have like a best friend or somebody that I love and appreciate and I want them in my life, I need to put in the effort to keep them. I can't be tossing them to the side, treating them like trash, creating drama with them, talking shit about them. Not that I do that, but those are the examples of what people do to burn a bridge. And I've definitely done that in the past. Everyone, I feel like at the high school age, maybe middle school age, we all had like our drama that we dealt with regarding friends and other people. I'm obviously past that, and I've learned how to show somebody that I value them, how to show somebody I'm there for them, how to show up for them, how to keep that friendship. And there's also those low maintenance friends that maybe you don't talk to them every day, maybe you don't talk to them every week, or maybe even every month, but you are going to be in their life no matter what. And that's okay too. You need to establish the type of friendship that you have with somebody and be okay with that and follow suit with there. Like, that's it. Um, but the point of this number is that that was a lesson that I had learned and I appreciated, and I'm still learning and growing to this day. And I can appreciate that fact. You might want to try a knife and just like, oh, okay, you got it.
Do you pour the water out?
Yes, you have to drain and you have to even like towel it. Number 7, I love and appreciate the ability to capture memories on my phone, on my camera. I love taking pictures, videos, vlogging, because what I have come to realize is my memory is absolute shit. So there are things on my phone that I completely forgot even existed. There's text messages between me and Larissa I didn't even remember happening, but I can look back on them and be appreciative of the conversation and feel, what's the word? Nostalgic. Feel nostalgic about it and actually like go back to a place where I'm like happy, about that time. I can go back to that time and feel how I felt in that moment. Or a picture of a sunset. If I was there with somebody, was I there alone? How did I feel that day? Looking at that picture, that sunset, like it just brings you back. So the ability to capture those memories are so important to me. And now that I publish a lot of stuff online, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you've got my podcast, YouTube. I can go back and appreciate that. That is one thing about social media that I love. Like, if your phone were to delete all of your memories today, whatever you've got on social media, you still technically have because it's there. You might have to screen record, screenshot, whatever to be able to have it back in your phone. But some people, like, if you do, for whatever reason, don't have the cloud, don't have the backup ability, just forgot to back up your stuff. If you lost all of your memory on your phone, you still have social media, at least. I mean, it's a weird concept and you probably don't want to rely on it. I rely on Google Drive myself. Like, if there's pictures that I really, really want saved, like, I'll put it in my Google Drive. Granted, I haven't done that in a while. Like, I'm pretty confident that my phone's okay, but it's an option. It's a safeguard. So if you were to have no backup and you lost all of your pictures on your phone, all of your memories, you've got social media. And I think that's a concept we don't consider all of the time because it's not really a concept. I mean, don't get me wrong, people get banned, blocked, whatever. Posts get taken down, you miss that opportunity, but again, the likelihood of you losing all of your photos on your phone probably are low, but I'm just saying. My main point was the fact that we're able to use a phone to capture those memories. Remember those days where you would buy one of those like cameras from Walmart or some shit, or Walmart or Walgreens or whatever, and you would take the little pictures and film and go to the Walgreens photo and have them develop it for you. Like,
I got to see them all first.
so cool. Yeah, they got to see them all first. Your phone is very, very much private, but it's just like there's so many different ways to capture memories these days and to go back and look at them too. Like, they're not in this shoebox or like a box that you bought and developed just for it. Like, there is genuinely, like, you can capture them and save them. Anyway, number 8, I am appreciative and love good, tasty food that makes me want to have it again. told you food was going to be on there. My girlfriend made a dish yesterday. We're going to talk about it. It had tofu. It had green beans. It had carrots, broccoli, chickpeas, and she made this like vegan-ish sauce with what? Soy sauce and sugar.
It's supposed to be teriyaki, but I haven't even tasted it.
It's supposed to be teriyaki. I think it was close enough. I don't really remember the taste of teriyaki sauce. I don't really have it enough to judge that. But it was good. It was so good. Oh, and it had rice. I would have it again. Absolutely. I had it today for lunch. It's literally by the way, this is the day before Valentine's Day, so you guys are getting like the closest you can of an update of my life. But anyway, food was so good. I would have it again. I know y'all have like 1 to 2 restaurants that you could immediately think of on the top of your head. You would go there tomorrow or even tonight, today, whatever, and you would get the same exact meal because you went, you had it, and you're like, this was amazing. Like, I need it again. Yeah, Boiler House, that was good. There's just so many like good places and good food, and like to experience whatever I want whenever I want is amazing. Like within a budget, of course. But so clearly, I have now edited this vlog. I told you guys at the beginning that it wasn't going to be edited, but now it is. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be able to do this in one take and not edit it, but it's fine. It's literally the day before, and I feel like y'all know when y'all had homework, whether it be high school or college, and you had an essay to write and you waited till the last second to write it. That's me right now with my podcast. This is why I told y'all from the beginning that I love being ahead of myself when it comes to my podcast because I have a little bit of leeway. So I know we didn't talk about food that much, but I'm going to move on just to get this done. I wanted this to be a short and sweet episode, and I'm trying to keep it that way. Number 8, I love and appreciate cozying up in a warm, fuzzy blanket. Whether I am sipping coffee, tea, a good drink, whether I'm listening to a good podcast, whether I'm reading a good book, whether I'm watching a good show or movie, I love the feeling of being cuddled up in a nice fuzzy blanket, feeling warm, feeling toasty, not too hot, but like that nice temperature where you're like, I can handle this, especially on a cold day. Chef's kiss. Number 10, I love and appreciate journaling and getting out my private thoughts privately. I love the ability to open up my 5-minute journal and write whatever I want. I love my notes app. I will get out whatever I'm feeling. I love my little sticky notes. Whatever I need to do to get out private thoughts privately, I'll do. I know we all have intrusive thoughts. I don't know anyone that doesn't have an intrusive thought. So it is really nice to be able to monitor myself and be able to actually feel like, okay, it's fine. Like, I'm just going to get it out of my system, throw it away. Like, it's not a big deal. Burn it if you need to, shred it if you need to, delete it if it's on your phone, whatever the case may be. It's nice to be able to get my private thoughts out. And I'm not even going to lie, sometimes I do that on here. I know y'all know if you listen to me religiously or consistently, I will talk to y'all like I'm in therapy. Like, it is probably not the best, but I think it's authentic. I think it gets you guys a good view of who I am, and I'm not afraid to be who I am. I'm not hiding myself, I'm not masking myself, and if you don't like it, that's okay. Like, we don't have to be there to please other people, we don't have to like everybody, but if you do, love you. Simple. Number 11, I love and appreciate the feeling of being energized after a good night's sleep. There is something about getting a good night's sleep that feels so nice. You actually feel refreshed and you're ready for the day without a cup of coffee, without your caffeine. There is something about those mornings that just get me so happy. Like I am getting up, getting out of bed, and I'm ready to go. I love those days. Normally for me, those are likely travel days, especially if I'm excited about the destination. I'll be up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Don't need coffee. Maybe I'll have it. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll just be for fun. But I am like up and ready to go. I packed 3 weeks ago. I love travel days, but that's just how I am. It's like you're waking up and you're excited about something. Like it feels so good. Um, Obviously you don't have to, but like having that energized, happy feeling is just again another top tier feeling. Number 12. We're almost there, guys. I love and appreciate going to the farmers market on a beautiful weekend morning. I have come to love, there's this place called the Pearl. I have come to love going there. I have only been there a handful of times during the farmer market. They actually have them sometimes at night where they're less farmers market, more I don't know what they call them, just like fall market or Christmas market. Like they had them during the holidays where they were in the week at night and they had different vendors. But the farmers market on a beautiful Saturday or Sunday morning, and I've literally gone there, had coffee, met up with friends, went with friends, um, checked out all the vendors, had good food. Maybe I drank, maybe I picked out some cool stuff. I've gotten good food. I've gotten cute little stuff. Like whatever it is, like I don't know. I just love and appreciate a good farmer's market. And it's funny because I never went to a farmer's market before. Like that is the closest thing to a farmer's market that I have had. But I love it. It's so adorable and I want to explore more. It makes me think about like what if I went to a different city or a different state or a different cultured area and they had like all of these other amazing things. Like I am so ready to like travel and explore. Y'all don't even know. Number 13. I love and appreciate working from home. This is a big one. So, remember how I told y'all I had a previous job working from home and things didn't work out? I found myself looking for jobs working from home once again because I realized where is my gas going? It's not going out of my gas tank. It's sitting in my gas tank. Like the only time I'm using my gas is for personal reasons. I'm not using it to go to work. If I Now that I have a girlfriend that freaking drives everywhere, it's a different story. But before her, I was going to the Pearl. I was going out. I was meeting friends. I was going over to friends' houses. I was enjoying myself. And I was using my gas personally for personal reasons. Never went to a job. I have yet to commute to a job in Texas. Again, another word, commute. There is no commute time. I don't have to sit my ass in San Antonio traffic. Y'all know San Antonio traffic. If you are from San Antonio, you are from Texas in a bigger city in Texas, Austin, Dallas, Houston, guaranteed your highways are ridiculous. And I guarantee y'all, you're going 5 miles and it's taking you 25 minutes. It's ridiculous. And guess who doesn't have to deal with that if she doesn't want to? Hi, me. I'm the problem. Um, Actually, I'm not. I'm not the traffic problem because I'm not there. But you see my point. I love working from home. I can go on my break and take a shower. I can go in my bed and take a nap. I can cook myself food at home. I'm saving money on food because I'm not eating out goddamn every day. Yeah, my girlfriend's cooking the food because she's a better cook than me. But if I wanted my dinosaur chicken nuggets, I can put them in the microwave. If I wanted a salad, I can make a salad. I probably wouldn't do such an elaborate meal during work hours, but like after work, instead of commuting home, like I would make chicken and pasta, which was like my go-to meal, um, like for meal preps. Like I was able to do that in the comfort of my own home. I didn't have to commute from an office. Granted, the one thing I do love about my job is that I do have the ability to go into the office because one thing that I do miss is having that connection with coworkers. Again, I told y'all, I love deep and meaningful conversation and the ability to connect with others. Working from home, you don't get the opportunity like that. I am sitting here Teams messaging people. I have no private conversations with anyone, like none. I have one private conversation with my supervisor about one doctor appointment. I'm not communicating like I would like to. It is harder to meet people that way. It is harder. But also, I've come to the realization, do I want to be friends with my coworkers? I think that's a question up for debate that I would be curious to hear from y'all. How do you feel about being friends with your coworkers? And what kind of environment are you in? Because I made friends. My best guy friend is from work. I worked at ShopRite with him, which, if y'all don't know what ShopRite is, it's a grocery store that is family owned. Um, Usually, it's a chain, but like the specific one that we worked at was owned by like the Drust family, which I probably shouldn't have said that because that gives y'all a real intake of where I lived before. But I think there's a couple owned by that family, so I think I'm safe. Anyway, my point is my guy best friend I met at work, and to this day he is my best friend. I met him in 20, was it 2015, 2016, something like that. But nowadays, when you're in a more, I don't know, kind of professional environment, like, how do you feel about it? You know? You can microwave stuff if you need to microwave stuff.
Just trying to heat your food back up.
Yeah, it's fine.
I cooked them all in one pan, not starting anything while you're doing this.
No, it's fine.
I'm eating it.
I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Like for me personally, I think nowadays in a more professional environment, like if I was working in the office, I would have that rapport and I would like talk to people. But I don't think I would share much about my personal life. Maybe a little bit. I feel like I share the same amount that I would share working in an office. But I don't think I would become friends with somebody.
I can't really be friends with mine. I'm the bosses.
Well, yeah, if you're somebody's boss, that's different. But like your coworkers, your equals, are you friends with them? Are you on the lower end of the totem pole where it's, there's a lot of people to quote unquote choose from? Like I'm just literally my role is basically at the top, the bottom of the totem pole. So you have a million people in this role. Maybe not a million. I'm probably like there's probably like 300 people or so in my role. But the point is like how do you feel about being friends with somebody? Do you feel like if you had a day off, would they rat you out? Like that would be so childish. But like we're not playing hooky anymore. If we need a mental, I feel like we're in this day and age, we're in such an acceptable environment that if you needed a mental health day, you could take a mental health day. Granted, I feel like the generation before millennials, whatever that generation is, what is that? That is not alpha. Alpha is behind us. That is boomers.
Gen X. Gen.
Who's right above you? Gen X?
I think it's Gen X. Yeah, because I'm Y. Gen X.
Okay. So, right, because I'm Gen Z. Anyway, that just goes to show I am on the cusp of Gen Z. I'm a zillennial, if you will, because I was born in 1997. And the cusp of millennial is 1996, which I find bullshit because I was out there waiting for the streetlights to come on, playing, and when those streetlights came on, I went inside. I guarantee you, Gen Z, most of Gen Z does not remember that or did not do that. They were raised on television. That's why it makes me so mad that I'm on the cusp that I am, because I'm fully convinced that I relate a lot with millennials. There are some things that I relate with Gen Z, yes, but I think social media was a big aspect to that. But anyway, I will not get into that war today. All I have to say is working from home, now that I'm coming all the way back from my tangent, working from home is still top tier to me. And I will take every advantage that I have to work from home. But my dream job would entail me to create my own schedule, to work on my own time, to meet project deadlines versus like that 9 to 5. Like, I want to be project based, but I also want a stable income. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. Again, we'll end up seeing what comes for me, what's knocking at my door when I'm ready for something bigger. Right now, I'm not. I'm working towards it, and I know that, but there's nothing that beats working from home for me at this time. Last but not least, number 14, I love and appreciate ways to decompress. I am a very stressful person. I am a big stress ball. This is me. Ball of stress. I wish I could have an arrow pointing to it. I am a big ball of stress. Wait. We're going to draw it. Ready? Me. Ball of stress. I could not tell y'all. I didn't even make that in. The trash can's right there, and I did not make it in.
You're not a sports player, though.
I have no hand-eye coordination. I don't play sports. I am a creative type. Thank you. Anyway, I am so appreciative of ways to decompress because I need to. I need to let out my stress, my worries. I know some of y'all feel this way, if not most of y'all. We are worrying types. We are stressed out types. We care what other people think. Like, there's so much that goes into that type of personality that we have these standards or definitions that we feel that we need to meet. I know that that's me. I have like goals in my head. I have standards in my head of how I should be, how I should act, what I should be reaching, all of that jazz. But at the end of the day, if I can decompress with a good TV show, amazing music, maybe even relatable music to how I'm feeling, social media, podcast, reading. Maybe I do something creative. Maybe I write a poem. Maybe I work on my book. Whatever the case may be, there is so many ways for me to decompress and so many opportunities for me to decompress. And I love and appreciate that fact. So, those are my 14 things that I love and appreciate. And actually, my birthday is in like 3 weeks. So I can't wait for that podcast episode to come out because it's very similar to this one. But I promise to make it a point. I have this list written down. I will make it a point to be different things and a different idea. It's going to be more like 27 things I've learned before I turn 27. But still, it's going to be a different type of list, but I will make sure that it does not incorporate this. But I'm really excited for that episode. That's going to be in a couple weeks. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. And still, somehow, I'm in the 40-minute mark. So I don't know how I thought this was going to be a short episode, but I tried, you guys. I really tried. Um, I think my girlfriend had a little bit to do with it. Maybe Sadie had a little bit to do with it. Maybe it's me going off on these little tangents that have nothing to do with it or that I think related to it, and then it went off into space. But
Your meal is done.
I am going to go eat dinner and edit this podcast so you guys can listen to it in, 4 hours? 5 hours? By the time I'm done editing, it'll be like 3 to 4 hours. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for next week. I'm so excited for this content. You guys are going to love it. I love you guys, and I will see you soon.